Hey everyone, welcome to Book Talk Tuesday. Tonight I wanted to let you know some things I just finished, something I'm reading now, and a couple I'm looking forward to reading this week. So, to start, something that I just finished is this book here, The Wild Robot Escapes. It is the sequel to The Wild Robot. If you haven't read that yet, you need to. It's excellent, and I love it so much. It's rare, to be honest, that I read a sequel. I love books for standalone books. I rarely read a series. It's got to be really good for me to read the second one. But many people had mentioned to me how great the sequel was, and it's really worth it to read. So I thought I'd pick it up and I'd see. And I ended up at my library being able to find the audio version. And so not only did I get my own copy of this, but I was able to listen to it on my drive to work last week. And it is wonderful. At the end of the first one, you're kind of left a little bit confused and a little bit of a cliffhanger. This one wraps it all up for you. It doesn't disappoint at all with the main character, Roz, and some things she does, but it's completely different. They're not on the island anymore, and some things happen, and you really get to know Roz a little bit more with a new problem, a new solution. And again, it's so rare that I like the second book. I loved it. I love it, love it, love it. I can't say enough great things about it. It made me really, really think about certain things that we do as humans and different emotions and our feelings towards different things and what's fair and not fair. I just can't say enough about it. It's The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown. Great audiobook as well. Something I'm reading right now, actually, I'm kind of listening to it. I listen to so many audiobooks because I drive to work every day and back. And so I'm kind of listening to this, but I have to get it in a little bit faster. So I'm reading it as well. It's called, oh, can you see it here? It's called I'll Give You the Sun. And it's kind of shiny. It's hard for me to show you. Sorry. Hi, Teddy. Thank you. Maybe he could go lie down now. I'll Give You the Sun. The reason I picked this up is because one of my reading writing teacher mentors, Penny Kittle, she is using it as one of her books for her summer book club. And usually when she recommends a great book, you have to pick it up. So I picked this up and I cannot read it fast enough. I cannot stop listening to it. It is beautifully written. It's almost like the whole book is written in metaphorical language. It's just so high level thought process and writing, the describing that goes into it, the metaphors, the similes, just the whole kind of way it's been written is not like anything really I've read before, to be honest. And I can't stop thinking about it. It's written in two different people's perspectives, but in two different time periods. So there's Jude and there's Noah. They're twins, a boy and a girl. And you kind of hear Noah's story when he's about 13. And then you hear Jude's story when she's about 16, but you don't really know what happened between them. It's like they were best friends, and then something changed between them. And the whole time they're kind of working time towards each other in each of their stories. But you still don't know every single detail to see what happens and to kind of understand what changed to make them change themselves so much, their interests so much. Everything basically changed between them. They hardly even talk anymore when they're 16, which wasn't how they were when they were 13. So it's all about that. If you like art, it's really quite a book, a lot about art. I will be the first to admit I'm not the best person with art. In fact, I'm pretty awful at art. However, it doesn't really matter. It's neat to hear what they have to say and their interests in everything. But if you do love art, you might have a special connection with it, which is kind of neat to see. Okay, two books I've just kind of got, and I'm looking forward to reading. One is called Puddin, and it is the kind of companion book to Dumpling. If you haven't read Dumpling yet, I have it on my shelf right here. I prepped that just so you know. Dumpling is probably one of my favorite teen books. I only read it a couple months ago, but it skyrocketed to the top of my list. It's about a girl who's overweight, feels insecure about herself, but she decides to kind of do something about it. She enters a beauty pageant that all the kind of cliquey pretty girls enter, and it's like the big talk of the town and everything. But it's a lot more about other stuff and how she kind of comes to terms with who she is and what she wants in life and who she wants to be accepted for. So Dumpling is about one of the characters that was in Pudding, but it's her own story. I can't wait to read it because the book Dumpling was so funny to me and so real, so raw, so kind of like a window into someone else that I just couldn't get enough of it. I have to read this one. Like, I have to know that other character's story. I have to know what happens with her because she was so interested in Dumpling that you just wanted to get to know her better. But the book didn't give you enough time. It wasn't really about her. So this is going to be a really interesting read for me. The other one, I just got this one and I'm so excited about it. This is one of my favorite kind of middle grade young people authors, Kate Messner, and she's written this book called Breakout. I haven't started yet because I'm already reading 6 books at once and I need to kind of take a little chill pill and slow down. However, this book is about a girl in a town where I guess not a whole lot happens, but suddenly there is a prison break and some prisoners escape. The whole book is told through like news articles, text messages, letters, even comics. I'm going to leaf through a little for you while my dog kind of attacks me. So there's all different kind of formats through here. It's so interesting to me that this girl kind of collects all the different stories and different kind of pieces of like almost like artifacts into collecting this story. It's really supposed to talk, at least it says in the description, that readers will really examine privilege and perspective, something I'm really interested in right now. So I'm hoping that this book can kind of teach me something about that and shed some light into some things and maybe counter some of the things I'm thinking, maybe change the way I think, or kind of, I don't know, maybe just make me think more about those types of things. That's what I want to be challenged to do, is to pay a little bit more attention to those types of things like privilege and other people's perspectives. I want to make sure I'm doing that, and books like this are the type of books that teach me that. So those are just some books I've read, books I'm reading, books I really want to read. Hopefully by next week I'll have those ones done and I'll be able to tell you a little bit about them. Also stay tuned for next week because my amazing Melville library asked me for a cool list of some books that they could order and buy for the library because they had a little bit of money. And so next week I'm going to be at my amazing Melville Public Library talking about some of their purchases. So can't wait to talk to you about it next week. Bye-bye.